Welcome to Scouse Farm. A little garden update for you all. I won't be doing many more of these because, well, they don't do very good numbers, but also not much changes very quickly, so I'll do like one now, maybe one in the summer to show you some flowers. But look at the bush there, loads of flowers on it now. And I'll give you an update on the compost as well. For those who've not been on the channel long, there are not just the history videos, there's a few garden videos and how to grow your own food at home and things. So have a look on the playlists and you'll see how easy it is to grow your own food. And for the recent video, you can see the cherry bush dropped all its blossom, or most of it now, so that'll start making fruit. And the bed that was repaired and replaced, you can see growth in there already. We've got some lettuce coming through. That's garlic that didn't work and I just cut it off at the base, but it started to regrow again, so that's a garlic. And that is lettuce, and that's another lettuce, and a few more. I'm not sure what that is in the middle, but I must have planted the seed or one fell in. And last year I got loads of volunteer tomatoes because I was growing tomatoes in this bed, but I'm going to stick to lettuce and carrots in this one. And that is the carrots in question. You can see loads of carrots popping up there, so they'll be ready in about 3 months, maybe 4 months, depending on when you want to pick them. You can always pick them when they're small, but I like to grow full-size carrots if I can. And it's hit and miss, but this bed is perfect because it's counterintuitive, but you'd think when you're planting a food crop you'd want the best possible nutrition, but carrots love like sandy, easy to climb through soil. So if it was like high nitrogen and full of nutrient compost, they would just stay close to the surface, and that's when they start swelling and becoming like fat, small, short carrots. But when they're looking for nutrition, they send the root further down, so they go down as far as they possibly can. So when it's sandy, it's easy for them to get through, and it should hopefully form some better carrots for me this year. And I'll just take you over to the bed there because some of that is going to be picked today. And we've got the spring onions that were planted in August last year that have been through winter. You can see them putting weight on again, and I'll just get them when they're fully mature. But I was just testing them out in that bed anyway. Most of my growing is done in the back. And I had a little spare potato, so I threw it in there. So that's just one potato, and it grows. So I'll get maybe 5 or 6, who knows, out of this little patch of leaf growth there on the tomato front. And we've got a few more carrots coming through at the back, a row of carrots. And these are carrots that have been in over the winter, so they were in last year, and I'm leaving them to go to seed to get loads of carrot seeds. But if I wanted, I could pick them. I think if I show you the bottom, you'll see, well, I've just snapped one of them. But under there, that's where the orange part of the carrot will be if I peeled back the soil, but I'm not going to, because as I say, I'm leaving them to go to seed. And in this bed we've got loads of garlic and leeks and spring onions. So these are all leeks that volunteered. I didn't plant them as seed, so that's like a multi-crop of leeks. I'll keep them small and they'll be very tasty when I decide to harvest them. But this one here, that's due for harvest soon, so I'll pull that one out. And this one at the back is definitely due for harvest, and that's because it's flowering. So because it's been in over winter, it's now its second season. So this, you can see where I'm pointing to now, that is a flower. So if you leave this much longer, that will become incredibly dense and hard, and it will ruin leek as a food. So it will only be good if you wanted to leave it to go to seed. So while it is this size, as you can see, that's the base. So look how much food there is there. So up to this point where the flower is coming through, that will be cut there, and I will eat everything below that line. And I'll give it a go now, but you can just twist them out, and they are quite difficult sometimes. I'll try and do it with one hand, but boom, there it is. So not much on the root, which means it's easy to keep a lot of leeks in a shallow bed. You don't need a massive deep raised bed to grow leek. And for reference, I'll just bring it round so you can see the size of it. Look at that, not bad, eh? Just from a little seed. So that's good food. That'll be going on the old Sunday dinner this weekend. And if you didn't want to harvest it by ragging it out at the root. You could also just cut it above ground and it'll regrow again. It won't be the best, but it will regrow and you'll get a bit more food out of it if you wanted to do that. So that's the old oniony leek bed. And the ones that you can see flowering there, that spring onion's gone to flower, and the bees absolutely love that. So some of them, they're just opening up now. So give it a day or two and then they'll be opened completely and all the bees will be all over them. But the main reason for the front garden update is the rhododendron, because it only flowers for a little bit and then the flowers drop off one by one and it's gone for another year. But wait till you see this. Look at that, absolutely stunning. So I'll give you a close-up of the flowers on this bad boy. I'll try and keep my shadow out of it, but just look at that, stunning, beautiful looking, and especially after like a bit of rain, they just shine and go even darker in colour. And with the shade of the cherry tree, the monster cherry tree above it, it does stand out quite well as a good burst of colour in a sea of green, because most of the garden in spring is green before all the flowers start popping out. But wow, I am delighted with this one. It gets better and better year by year. And in the background we've got, you can see the pond there, the fish pond, and some little bedding plants I've put in little places around the pond. Some of them have flowered already now, so they're going for the season. And in summer, a lot more of this will be in flower. We've got rose there, the big gorgeous white rose that climbs up, and I've trained the ivy to go around, so that ivy's going up the tree, so that'll give evergreen colour to the base of the cherry tree. And I've got loads of flowers to pop through in these beds here, which will come through bit by bit. Some of them have already been and gone, like the tulips. So there you can see some tulips there that they've already gone. That one's still left, that lovely purple one, but that's on its way out too. And then we've got some more coming through on a little cheap bedding plant I bought from a corner shop that's come back year after year. And they are more leeks, I think, at the back. I think I just scattered a few seeds there and they've decided to grow a clump as well. So that's another extra bit of food. And then this thing I planted 18 years ago and it's still here. That's a cat plant. And it's lost way over half its body weight, haven't you, babe? She's lost way over half her body weight in the last couple of months, so things aren't looking up, but we love her while she's here. She used to protect the garden from other cats coming in and pooping in the beds, but now she's just too old and too slow, aren't you, mate? But she's the best addition to the garden, that's for sure. Right, oh yeah, the compost. I wanted to show you the compost. So this one is the one that I use. It's the active one, so if I cut the grass, or that's all from my neighbour's privets, she must have dumped them off because I didn't put them in there and they weren't there yesterday. But she must have, while I was out at work yesterday, she would have dropped them off. So I always ask her to put the grass and the privets in here, because that was filled up to the top 2 days ago. And even with additions of new privets, just look how quick it drops. So it rots down really quick, and you'll be surprised how much you can get in these compost bins that then don't have to go in your garden waste bins. So it saves you a lot of hassle there and a lot of unnecessary waste. And then this bin, the larger one, that's the one where I turn this compost, when it's about half rotted down, I turn it from there and then I drop it in that one. And less than, I think, looking at 6 months or something, it will be usable, because it gets better and better while I get more used to doing it. And just look at that. And as I say, that's like 9 months, 6 to 9 months mixed in. So some of that stuff only went in last week and I've mixed it in, which just shows you how quick it can happen. And look how crumbly that is. So that is very usable compost already to just drop over the top of a garden bed or anything you're growing. So definitely get these at home if you've got space for them, because they are a brilliant addition to any garden. And I personally think, you know, when the council give away these bins, like recycling bins, and some councils have like 3, 4, 5 bins or something stupid. So if you give anyone who wants one in a garden one of these compost bins, it'll save the bin wagon so much by not having to empty so many bins all the time. Because other than big sticks and things, I don't put anything in my garden waste bin anymore. It all goes in the compost, and it also saves me buying compost. But I've just put some fish food in there, so the fish will pop up in a bit, and I think that'll do you. So I'll leave you at this gorgeous rhododendron, which is also a bee magnet. So thank you all very much for watching. Have yourselves a great day, and Scouse Farm, we'll see you all again soon.